Chapter 16. What comes next? You're standing alongside Alexander as Curtis, the man who Gray thought was his best friend, the man who killed him, brandishes a knife at you. Ah, no. Time seems to slow down as Curtis springs forward, going to stab you, and a cry tears its way out of your chest. Have to grab his arm, get out of the way, scream, get out of the way. You throw yourself to the side, barely keeping your footing, as you dodge out of the way of the blade. That was way too... You stumble back as Curtis takes another swing at you, lips curl back in a snarl. You aren't getting away. Curtis, stop! Alexander tries to get between you and Curtis, only for him to roughly shove her out of the way. I won't let you two ruin everything I've built. Iris. Curtis lashes out you with the knife at the same time. Gray charges him. You squeeze your eyes shut, waiting for the pain to come. When it doesn't, you crack them open. The blade stops merely inches from your chest, and when you look at Curtis, there's a strange blue glow emanating from him. Run! I can't hold him for long. And it's Gray's voice that comes out of Curtis's mouth. He's possessing him. You grab Alexander's arm, and the two of you rush for the door at the same time. Samuel appears in it. This way! You follow Samuel as he weaves through the house until you're back in the entryway, where guests still mill about. I can't believe he tried to... You should be safe here. Curtis wouldn't dare attack you with so many witnesses around. But Gray will only be able to keep Curtis in there for so long. You cannot let him get away, Iris. Right, Alexandra. Send your security team in there to restrain him. I'll call the authorities. Both spring into action, and a short time later, the authorities escort Curtis out of the building in handcuffs. Let go of me. This is my house. Then his eyes fall on you. You will regret this. Wait until my lawyers hear about this. Curtis, how exactly are you going to pay those lawyers? Because I don't think the Morrisons are going to be funding you after today. His eyes widen with fear as your words hit him. He turns to Alexandra, eyes pleading. Alexandra, you won't let me stay in there, right? You wouldn't do that to me. I'm going to make sure you never get out. Curtis's face twists with rage. You're just as bad as your brother. Gray appears at your side as they drag Curtis out the front door. It's finally done. I need to get my story to the authorities and file for annulment as soon as possible. Gray and I will be here when you're done. Alexandra gives you a grateful nod and heads off, and you, Gray, and Samuel step away from the crowd, going back to Alexandra's bedroom. Thank God you and Alexandra are safe. Thanks to you. I still can't believe my best friend would do that. That he's the one who killed me. I don't think he was ever truly your friend, Gray. Curtis was rotten, and there is nothing any of you could have done to see that sooner. I only wish I had seen it. You've helped in plenty of other ways, Samuel. Seriously, thank you for everything you've done. There's no need for that. I'm only doing what I'm supposed to do. I think you've done what you've set out to do. You wanted to look after your family, make sure they were on the right path. You've more than done that. With Alexandra, at least. I don't know that I'd include myself. I would say you are very much included. Samuel inhales deeply before addressing you. But you are right. I think I've finally done something meaningful. It's been a long road, and I think I'm ready for it to end. I'm at peace with it. Don't think of it as an end, but as a new beginning. In any event, I'm happy to have done right by my family. And we're happy to have had you. Now, just close your eyes and let it all go. He closes his eyes, a soft smile on his face as he begins to dissipate into tiny flecks of light. Goodbye, old chap. For the moment, he's gone. Your vision darkens around the edges and you put a hand on the wall to brace yourself. You're getting weaker again, aren't you? He slides his arm around your waist to support you, for more solid than he was a moment ago. I am... We don't have much longer together, not at this rate. You turn in his arms and he cups your cheek in his hand, gently stroking your skin with his thumb. But don't worry, I'm not leaving yet. I want to spend a final day with you before I move on, to take you on a real date, just the two of us. You lean into his touch, smiling despite the tears welling in your eyes. I'd love that. The next morning, you jolt as someone pounds on your bedroom door, and Bobby lets out a yelp from where he's curled up on your bed. Moments later, the door is thrown open to reveal a beaming Alexandra. I am totally sorry for barging in unannounced like this, but after last night, I needed a distraction, so I went shopping for you and your date today. Alexandra, that's so sweet of you. Oh, it's nothing. I need to stay busy or I'm gonna have a huge meltdown. Yeah, she's like me. Hey, you do what you have to do. If that's impulsive shopping, then so be it. I knew you'd understand. With a flourish, she unzips a garment bag, revealing a beautiful blue dress with floral accents. I saw it and it instantly reminded me of you. You both have this gentle softness about you. And the best part is that Gray has no idea. Just imagine how he'll react when he sees you in this. It's easy to imagine how his eyes will widen and sweep over you. Just the thought of it filling you with warmth. Put it on. Have the best date ever. It's all I could ever ask for. I'll accept. It kind of sticks with her hippie motif, if you will. You quickly get changed, and the moment you step out, she claps her hands together excitedly. I knew it would look good on you, but this is beyond anything I'd imagined. You have a great taste, Alexandra. Thank you so much. I'll send Gray up. I know his opinion is the one you're really waiting for. Gives you a wink and then disappears down the stairs. A minute later, Gray stands at the door with his jaw practically on the ground. Damn. Have I managed to render Gray Morrison speechless? He rushes forward, pulls you into his arms, lifting you up and twirling you around until you're giggling. I don't know how you managed to look even more beautiful than you already were, but wow. He quickly presses a quick kiss to the side of your head as he sets you back down. But as much as I would love to stand here admiring you, we need to get going. I have a big day planned for us. I can't wait. And neither can Bobby. A short drive later, you and Gray arrive at a beautiful lake, the water glistening in the midday sun. Wow, Gray, this place is amazing. Bobby goes bounding down the shoreline, jumping playfully in the water as it laps at his paws. And it looks like I'm not the only one who thinks that. If I knew I could impress you with a lake alone, I wouldn't have bothered with anything else. You give his shoulder a playful shove before he leads you over to a blanket spread out across the grass. I thought we could start with a picnic and then go paddle boarding out on the water. Can't say I've ever done that before, but I like experiencing things with you, so I'm game. Gray gives you a grin as you both settle down on the blanket, where he immediately starts pulling various things from the basket. Bread, strawberry sandwich, cheese, and of course wine. You name it, we've probably got it. Do you have any coffee? You put all this food together yourself? Not exactly, but I did give the caterers very specific instructions. Of course you did. You examine the array of food as Gray pours you a glass of wine, mouth watering, then your eyes land on a bowl of ripe strawberries. Eat one teasingly. You pluck a strawberry from the bowl and slowly bring it to your lips, meeting Gray's eyes as you do. Take a slow bite, the sweet taste of juice washing over your tongue, and a soft sigh escapes you. That should be a crime. You grin as you lick your lips, heat rushing to your face as you take in the intensity of his gaze. What, Ched? Being that much of a tease. But where would be the fun in that? He passes you a glass of wine, and you take a sip before laying back on the blanket, nestling in his arms. I can't get over how romantic you are. You've got to quit ruining my reputation, Iris. Never. The two of you stay curled up together, eating and talking until the sun is high in the sky. You ready to give this paddle boarding thing a try, Iris? Are you sure you're comfortable doing something in the water, given everything? It's not like I dressed for getting wet either. It's fine. The lake's not very deep. You can practically walk across it without your head going under. That doesn't solve the problem with my clothes. I don't want to ruin this beautiful dress your sister was kind enough to get me. That would be a tragedy. I take it your psychic abilities don't include being a blow dryer? That's a little outside my repertoire, unfortunately. Lucky for you, I think my ghostly ones do. Excuse me? Ghosts can manipulate wind temperature, right? So I'll just dry you off if you end up getting wet. That is really clever. Don't sound so surprised. Gray picks up two massive boards and heads towards the water. You follow after. I meant to ask, is this place special to you? It's a place I'd like to go when I wanted to be alone so I could think more clearly. And what are you thinking right now? About how much better it is getting to share it with you. He kicks off his shoe, stepping into the water, and sets one of the boards down. I'll hold the board in place so you can get on, and then it will just be a matter of standing up. You take off your shoes and step into the cool water. You slowly climb onto the board as Gray steadies you, planting your knees firmly on the board. As you go to stand, Gray moves his hand to your waist, holding you tight as you plant one foot on the board and then the other. You're unnatural. I don't feel like one. I feel like I'm about to fall. Bend your knees, use your paddle to steady yourself. His instructions, following them, you manage to stay standing when a bark brings your attention back to shore. Bobby stands as far as in the water as he can, only his little head poking out as he looks at you and Gray. Oh, did you want to go on the lake with us, Bobby? Gray picks Bobby up and carefully sets him on the front of your board, where he sits, tail waggling. There you go, little guy. This will be a first for both of us. Bobby pants happily as Gray gets onto his own board, and the two of you paddle out into the middle of the lake. Okay, this isn't as difficult as I thought it would be. But then someone tears past you on a jet ski, sending a wave right in your direction. Oh god. Drop to your knees, clinging to the edges of the paddleboard to keep from falling off. Meanwhile, Gray easily stays up. He's a ghost, of course he will. Bobby lets out his own frightened yelp as he lays on his belly. I think you spoke too soon. I should push him into the water. Hit water at him with my paddle. Hush. You swipe your paddle across the surface of the water and splash Gray right in the face. The water drips down his face and soaks into the fabric of his clothing, making him scrunch up his nose. And here I was doing a good job of not getting my clothes wet. Can't you just use your ghost blow dryer powers? You better not be making fun of me, Iris. Who, me? Oh, that's it. Now it's payback time. Gray slaps the surface of the water right at you, dousing your clothes and leaving you sputtering. You retaliate with a splash of your own, you and Gray's laughter rapidly filling the air, even as you both wind up drenched. The two of you eventually wind up on the opposite shore where you spot a family of ducks playing amongst the greenery. Gray, look. My god, new ducks, new scenery? Holy shit. Been years. Anyway, Bobby growls at the ducks before charging, only to pass harmlessly through them. He tilts his head to the side, confused. Poor guy. Leave the ducks alone, Bobby. They can't see you anyway. Or go wild and keep chasing them. It won't make a difference. The two ducklings waddle a little closer to you and Gray, only to go running back to their mother the moment one of you moves. Seems like the kiddos aren't very adventurous. But his smile gradually fades as the two of you continue watching the ducklings who have nuzzled underneath their mother's wings. I wish we could have that. reach over to take his hand, interlacing your fingers, and immediately gives your hand a tight squeeze. Maybe we could imagine it. What our life could have been or would have been like if we really could be together. That won't change anything. No, but that doesn't mean it's not still nice to think about. We could even try to feed the ducks while we do. I bet with a little bribe, they'd be willing to let us pet them. Do we even have anything to feed them? We left our picnic on the other side of the lake. Who do you think I am? In a blink, he disappears, only to reappear a moment later, holding a bundle of grapes. Pretty impressive, huh? If I wasn't a medium, it might be. Ugh, tough crowd. Gray passes you a handful of grapes, and the ducks immediately swarm as you toss them on the ground. You'd think that they're starving. Watch this. I mean, you don't know if they are or aren't. Gray lays out a trail of grape pieces, leading the ducks from where they're standing by the lake right up to your feet. Hey there. Pet the ducks. Let them eat out of my hand. You slowly crouch down and place a grape in your palm. The mother immediately begins to waddle forward. That's it. Come here. The mother snatches the grape from your hand or beak, accidentally nipping at your skin in the process. It tickles. Well now, I've got to try it. Gray holds a grape out to the mother, and he laughs as she eagerly grabs it. You toss another couple of grapes onto the ground, and soon all three of the ducks are tripping over your feet as they circle you. I think they like you. I think they like food. Nope. You're just irresistible. Believe me, I would know. You look over to find Gray staring at you with pure adoration in his eyes, and your heart flutters. So why don't you tell me about this future you had in mind? Well, I'd want to get married, obviously. That's a little fast, don't you think? I'm not saying we'd do it tomorrow, but somewhere down the line. I even have the perfect proposal in mind. I want to hear all about it. I'd take you on a beautiful country drive to a small little restaurant where we'd have the most delicious 5-course dinner. Then we'd end up in the night on the beach, or maybe on a hot air balloon. It's more romantic, isn't it? I wouldn't care where you proposed, Gray, so long as I get to marry you. Keep talking like that and I'm going to get a big head. Like you don't already have one. Now, let's talk wedding planning. And you said I was moving too fast. Shove his shoulder, and you then look down as you feel something nudging your foot, finding one of the ducklings pecking at it. Looks like they're still hungry. Sorry, E3. Someone is distracting me. You toss a few more grapes to the ground and the ducks scurry after them. Since you're so eager, I'm guessing you already have something in mind. I want it to be in a garden. Surrounded by flowers, friends. I can't imagine anything more beautiful. Well, I can. Are you saying my garden wedding idea is bad? Not at all. Just that I think seeing you in a wedding dress would be more than top in a garden. You look down again at the ducks rubbing against your legs and slowly start to waddle back towards the water. Bye, you three. You and Gray watch in silence as the two ducklings float after the mother, all three of them gliding away. How do you feel about kids, Iris? Even being in a relationship is kind of new for me, so I can't say I've given it too much of a thought. I go back and forth. I feel like part of my wanting a family always included a kid, but I don't know if I'd be the best parent. I didn't exactly have shining examples in my life. You'd be a wonderful parent. And I'd like having a kid with you. Would it be challenging? Oh, I'm sure. Would there be low points? Definitely. But we'd have each other, and I know that together we'd be able to handle it all. Even changing dirty diapers? I think I'd let you handle that one. Oh, the betrayal! Gray reaches over to take your hand, sending a soft warmth spreading up your arm and through the rest of your body. Sounds pretty perfect to me. Then again, I did help come up with it. I just wish we could really have a life together. Gray brings your hand up to his lips, placing a tender kiss to the back of your fingers. So do I. A life with you, I know, would be extraordinary. But I'm pretty damn grateful I've gotten to spend almost all my afterlife beside you. You throw your arms around his neck as you search for it and crash your lips together. His hands drop to your waist and he clutches you close as the two of you share a passionate kiss. Gray, I interrupt you with another frantic kiss, and the more after that, as though he can give you a lifetime of kisses in this one moment. I know. Gradually, your kiss is slow, turning soft and sensual, and you melt into his arms, letting yourself get lost there. Tears prick at the corner of your eyes as when he pulls back, but he quickly wipes them away when they escape. We still have today, Iris. And I plan to cherish every second of it. The sun has long set by the time you and Gray return to your home, faint moonlight filtering in through the windows. So, how'd I do on our first actual real date? I'm not sure any other date will ever be able to top it. Bobby weaves through you and Gray's legs and curls up in a pile of pillows on the floor, yawning as he gets settled. I think that was Bobby agreeing. Or telling us how tired he is. This is the lightest I think I've ever felt. And I'm including all the years I was alive. Being with you always feels that way, but something about today was different. I think we could finally relax. For once, we didn't have the mystery of your murder looming over us. Before, any time we spent doing something other than investigating felt like time wasted. Speak for yourself. You were always the one insisting we needed to stay on task. Someone had to. Gray leans in to capture your lips in a gentle kiss, slow, tender, like you have all the time in the world. When he pulls away, he cups your cheek in his hand, gazing at you with such affection you think your heart might burst. I knew from the moment I first saw you. Knew what? That you were the one. When I laid eyes on you in that dream, I could just feel it. I spent so long trying to ignore it. I figured I was dead, so what did it matter, even if it was too late for us to do or be anything? It's never too late. I know that now. You showed me. I don't know how you put up with my stubbornness or my distractions. Or your overinflated ego. Let's not go too far now. You laugh as you lean forward to rest your forehead against Gray's, feeling his breath ghost over your lips. What I'm trying to say is you've taught me so much, Iris. Not nearly as much as you taught me. You... tough one. We'll go with open my eyes. I hadn't realized that at some point I'd stopped really living. Which one of us is the ghost again? You roll your eyes even as you find yourself smiling. You showed me what life could be like and look like, that I was the one holding myself back. Okay, but you made me realize that I didn't have to just be a person everyone expected me to be. With you, I could be myself. I could be open, honest, and you're perfect just the way you are, Gray. He draws you into another kiss, and you can feel the weight of his feelings in every press of his lips to yours. I love you, Iris. I love you too. Iris. He surges forward to crash your lips together again, grinning as you break apart. I would have thought it was obvious by now. But it's different to hear you say it. He peppers kisses along your jaw and across your cheek until finally returning to your lips. As he deepens the kiss, he pulls you in close so your bodies are pressed together and you find yourself clinging to him just as eagerly. I never want this night to end. He nips playfully at your lower lip, snagging it between his teeth and drawing it out between you. It doesn't have to. Not yet. I'm going to hold you for every second I can, no matter what. He shivers as his voice pitches lower, his eyes full of so much want it steals your breath. But right now, I'd like to do even more than hold you. His fingertips skim down your arms, leaving goosebumps in their wake and a fire growing in your belly. Let me get lost in you, Iris. Basically, bout chicka wow wow. Just keep holding me. And don't let go. I won't. I promise. Gray keeps his arms around you as he leads you over to the bed, and with his warmth surrounding you, you easily drift off to sleep. You wake the next morning still curled up with Gray, but looking down at his sleeping face is enough to make tears well up in your eyes. I need something else to focus on, or I'll never get through today. You carefully get out of bed and head downstairs into your shop, where your books are still haphazardly scattered about. With a heavy sigh, you begin to gather them and return them to your bookshelves when a sudden gust of wind seems to sweep through the room. What the? The book you're holding slips from your grasp, falling open on the floor, and the wind whips through the pages, stopping on a specific one. Looks like the universe is trying to tell me something. You pick up the book and begin reading aloud, eyes going wide as you do. This ritual will permanently link you to a ghost, allowing you to willingly share part of your life force with them. Read every detail. The process is irreversible, and it's not guaranteed to work if the souls aren't compatible. As a result, careful consideration should be taken before performing a ritual such as this. Iris, is everything okay? You jolt as you turn to see Gray stepping into the shop, and you immediately rush to his side. I think I might have found a way for us to be together. What? You explain the ritual to Gray, going over the details again and again to make sure you don't miss anything. I'm not gonna lie, this sounds amazing. But you've spent your life making sure ghosts can move on, Iris. Are you sure you're okay with letting me stay? It goes against everything I've been taught, everything I've ever known, but it's you. It isn't just that, though. If we do this, you'll be giving me half of your life force. Living half a life. I don't want to hold you back like that. You reach out and take his hand in both of yours, giving them a tight squeeze. It wouldn't be half a life. Not if you were there. Still, you force yourself to think through the consequences of the ritual for you and Gray. But I'd like to be... But I'd also be keeping you from your peace. You wouldn't be able to move on, not until I died. Don't worry about me, I'm not... No, Gray, this is about you, it's about both of us. You meet his eyes, and the weight of the decision you have to make heavy on your shoulders. I hate these decisions. Just thinking. I will explain my decision at the end of the video. As much as I want you to stay here, to never leave me, that's not fair to you. It would be selfish of me to keep you here when you have a chance at peace. You don't. I don't want to hurt you, Gray. The same way you don't want to hurt me. I think we just need to be grateful for the time we got together, that we had this chance, this impossibility. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. You feel the tears begin to prick at the corner of your eyes, and you swallow roughly. Thank you. For standing by me, for making me laugh, for teaching me how to live. There will never be another like you, Gray. Not to me. This is really goodbye, then. I don't see it as goodbye. But I'm moving on. It's true. We're going to be parted, but when I die, I'll go to the same place. I don't know when that'll be or what's going to happen before then, but this isn't the end for us. I'll be waiting for you. And I guess all there is to say is, see you later, Gray Morrison. Gray takes a step closer to you so he can rest his forehead against yours. A single tear spills down your cheek as you surge forward, bringing your lips together in a kiss that doesn't last nearly long enough. I love you, Iris Travers. I love you too. Blue energy flares up around Gray as his body begins to disintegrate into brilliant sparkles as beautiful as it is painful. As the last of the motes of light disappear with a twinkle, you're left standing in the shop alone. Gray is really gone. But you know the memory of him will never fade. You'll carry him with you for the rest of your life. And after that. We'll see each other again, Gray. Someday. Thank you for coming along on this story with us. We're so grateful to have shared it with you, each and every one of you. Love, loss, and perseverance are part of life. All we can choose is how we face them. Alright. Before I begin talking, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And also there's the join and thanks features on the channel. It's a great way of supporting. There's other things too if you're looking to support. Otherwise, let me say the following. First and foremost, thank you all for joining me along this journey. It's yet another book, and yet another day, and month, and a year together. I started out hating this story, as you can clearly see. The not-for-me dislike. And I'm kind of divided right now. I'll say the following. We literally and figuratively called it. I called it on, like, chapter 2 or 3, where Gray would become metaphysical, and we'd be able to interact, and then it would go from there, and it would involve Bow Chicka Wow Wow, and the whole 9 yards, and I pretty much called it chapters and chapters before it ever happened. And that I called this ending as well. It was kind of like the one book, if you remember. So my choice, the reason why. Here are main characters. Let's just say she's in her 20s, right? So she's still pretty young, right? So she could have lived to 80, but she's going to give half of that up, so she would have lived to, 50? It's a tough choice in terms of that, but here's where my choice really was made in a matter of a few seconds. She would never be able to enjoy actual life with Gray. Like, yes, he'd be there, she'd be able to see him, she'd be able to interact with him, I guess, but he would never be able to turn to the physical. He would never be able to go out and enjoy life with her. She wouldn't have kids if she wanted them. She'd really be held back. And, as a person who has experienced love and loss, I remember her words is, I just want you to be happy. Is a phrase she would say quite often. She was a very kind soul, and someone that I loved fiercely. And I lost due to this universe. She was too big. She was too big and amazing for this universe, I guess. So yeah, anyway. Long story short is, since I've lost her, I have tried to love and whatnot. And, there are things in life that I, going from this perspective, right, if she was a ghost, there are things that I would not have got to experience, and then there are things that I would have got to experience. It's a tough decision, but I stand by my decision. It's not right for also them to be stuck, right? Like, Gray can't enjoy food, he can't enjoy human pleasantries and human materialistic things, even though those are kind of overhyped. But there's a lot of things that Gray wouldn't have been able to enjoy either, right? And a lot of things that, yeah, it would have got old, right? Like, hey man, I'd love to taste that chocolate. It's year 20, right? We got 10 years to go. Well, at least you're getting to enjoy it, right? That kind of sucks when you think about it, and that's one of the reasons why I chose the choice that I made. Let me know what choice you made if you happen to read this book, or if you didn't and you just followed along. What choice would you have made? Let me know in the comment section. But other than that, yeah, no, it's like, you know, for me, I don't know how much life I have left, right? A lot of us don't know. Let's be honest. I mean, each and every one of you listening right now, you could go out and a million possible things could happen to you. So yes, you should listen to this and live your life the best you possibly can. Live today better than yesterday, and live tomorrow better than today. Be better to one another and whatnot. Really, we need to make this world a better place, not a shittier place, before we go. With that being said, I don't know how much time I have left, right? Like I said, we don't know. No, none of us know. Um, but I keep trying to make an impact and like I said, leave the world a better place before I go. So, up until that day, up until my last video, I'll continue doing that. So, once again, thank you all for watching, and I love your beautiful faces. Thank you for being a part of this, of not just a community, but I look at all of you, and I look at this channel as a family. So, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.